Alright guys, thanks for stopping by another video. Today I want to do something a little bit different, something I believe could be kind of fun. If you see the thumbnail or the title, you already probably know what the video is, but you know me, I like doing introductions. So yeah, it's a top 9 tracks from all MX vs. ATV games, minus MX Unleashed. I'm not going to count that game in this list. Usually I do count that game, but for this sake, we're just going to do Unleashed to All Out. All right, makes sense. Sound fair? Also, none of them are really in any particular order. Basically, 2 through 9 could be interchanged, but I mean they're kind of in order from number 9 to number 1, but some of them could be changed. The only one that for sure has to stay in place is number 1. I put number 1 at number 1 because it is my all-time favorite track from any MX vs. ATV game ever made. So yeah, and if you're curious, because I do get asked this sometimes, this game, the beginning here is MX vs. ATV All Out. We are using the drone camera angle. So if you're curious, that's the game that is playing here for the introduction, but enough talking, let's hop into this, starting with number 9. So coming in at number 9 is KEWENI Falls from MX vs. ATV Unleashed. This is really, I mean, this game had a ton of outdoor tracks, and I feel like all the designs were really good for the tracks, but what I feel like was really good about this game was the unique environments. I mean, you had some environments with the northern lights, you even had an Egyptian temple setting, desert settings. I mean, the environments for these outdoor tracks were phenomenal. I mean, they were all unique, all memorable, on top of the fact that the track designs were fantastic. But for me, this was the one of the 2 tracks that I probably played the most, and I just have this, I don't know, it's a track that stuck with me, that's always been a track that I loved ever since I was a lot younger, you know, getting introduced to the MX vs. ATV franchise. So yes, KEWENI Falls is coming in at number 9 on this list. So number 8, we have Jefferson. This is where things got kind of difficult because Untamed had a ton of tracks similar to Unleashed, but I keep thinking, what tracks did I play the most? What tracks did I feel like had the best design? Again, it's just based off of how fun was the track, how good was the design, how much did I play it? Bit of nostalgia maybe, but it was between Jefferson and Capital City. But when I really thought to it, Jefferson was the track that I probably laid down more laps and more playtime than any other track in the game as far as Unleashed goes. And, you know, stacking it up against other MX vs. ATV games, Unleashed was a game that I sunk probably the 2nd or 3rd most playtime in out of all of them. So yes, Jefferson is coming in at number 8 on this list. Coming in at number 7 is Denver from MX vs. ATV Unleashed. This track is very similar to how I feel about Jefferson, the supercross track. It kind of sticks with me because it wasn't really about realism. I mean, the track design is amazing. It kind of makes you feel, it has that Coliseum feel to it. But it wasn't about realistic. It was about flying around a really wide track, carrying a ton of speed, and hitting huge jumps. Huge, unrealistic jumps. It was so much fun, and this was my favorite track in MX vs. ATV Unleashed by far. It's the one track that, similar to the KEWENI Falls, where my friends and I would just battle. We would just do massive battling after school on this track. It was the track, the go-to track when you had to settle who was faster in a game. So, yes, the design was amazing, the jumps were huge, and I loved how unrealistically arcadey it really was. So, Denver from Unleashed coming in at number 7. Alright guys, here we have number 6. This is the JS7 compound. It is in MX vs. ATV Alive, MX vs. ATV Supercross, MX vs. ATV Supercross Encore. Yes, it made its way into 3 versions of MX vs. ATV games. So, obviously people really did enjoy it. Yes, it is DLC, but I didn't limit my top 9 tracks into just the base game. I should have probably done that, but there were some tracks that I really, really love that were DLC. So, and the James Stewart compound is one of them. I mean, I know I've said that I'm not very good here, but I love the compound. I mean, you're getting 2 Supercross tracks, the Pro Loop. You're getting 3 tracks, okay? You're getting an entire compound, and I am counting the entire compound as one track. I know it's kind of weird, but you know, when you bought the DLC, you got all of it. So the entire compound is being counted as one track. And I know it's not MX vs. ATV's own unique design because it was based off of a replica at the time. And I know the compound is different now, but when they made it, it was just like this. So yeah, I know it's not their own design, but they did such a good job with it, and it was so much fun. I mean, we streamed Encore all the time, and even though it's not my best track, literally hundreds of hours on this track, so really, really loved it. And I definitely believe it is worthy of the number 6 position. And if you played Alive, I did play it in Alive, but I guess I didn't play it as much in Alive because I didn't play that game as much. So if you played it in Alive, it would be in the same position. It's just the JS7 compound in general. So yes, JS7 compound coming in at number 6. Alright boys, we have cracked the top 5. This is Clearwater from MX vs. ATV Untamed. It was very, 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 very close between Copper Valley and Clearwater. Like, very close. For me at least, they both had equally good environments, equally good track layout. There wasn't really any difference, and so which track did I find myself just enjoying the most when I played it? And I found that I had enjoyed playing this one more than Copper Valley. I probably have about the same amount of playtime on both of them. I mean, I haven't played this game in forever, and I went back in to get new footage, and I still remembered how to play both of those tracks. They just stuck with me. I mean, I feel like when a track is really, really good, it makes that lasting impression on you. Even when you get older and you don't play the game anymore, you still remember it. It still sticks with you. And that's what this track has done to me. And just probably my favorite track of all time in MX vs. ATV Untamed. There was a couple other ones. I mean, obviously Jefferson was very, very close, but yeah, my favorite track from Untamed was Clearwater here. So Clearwater coming in at number 5 on this list. At number 4, we have the Goat Farm. Similar to the JS7 compound, the entire Goat Farm is how it's being rated. So the 2 supercross tracks, the motocross track, and the UTV track that kind of runs around the outside of the Goat Farm. Everything is put together for being counted, I guess I should say, as one track. Now, I do realize that All Out can be a bit of a polarizing game. You either enjoy it or you really don't enjoy it. And if you're one of those guys that really doesn't enjoy the game, put the game aside, okay? We're judging the track. Just the track. So put that aside. I really feel like we can agree that the Goat Farm is very, very accurate to the real life Ricky Carmichael Goat Farm. I feel like, I mean, I'm going to say that it was fun to play. It was fun to play because I enjoy All Out, but even, you know, not talking about playing it, I feel like they did a great job on it. It's very, very accurate. It's an entire compound, which is the simplest of reasons. And I believe that it was one of the first tracks to get the new terrain deformation. So the track really tears up. You have the nighttime effect, or not the nighttime, but the time of day effects. I know that doesn't really count towards the track. The design is amazing. It's a ton of fun. And then you add the UTV track that you can ride with the bike or the quad. It runs both ways. There's even some trails here. The entirety of the Goat Farm is amazing, and I do enjoy it even more than the Stewart compound. Although that being said, it would be sweet if they did an updated version of the JS7 compound. Wink, wink, MX versus ATV. But anyways, yeah, the Goat Farm coming in at number 4 seems fitting on this list. All right, guys, we're getting into the juicy top 3 here. This is Pine Top. Now, I don't feel like this track needs very much of an introduction. The most hours I have in a motocross video game is Reflex and Encore. I still believe I have more hours in Reflex than I do even Supercross Encore. Probably pretty close. But I have more laps and more time on Pine Top here than almost any other track in any other game. Not just any MX versus ATV game, but almost any other track in any game. There's only one other track that I might have more hours in, and that's on the list. So this is at least, at worst, it's the second most played track by me ever. The design was fantastic. It flowed so well. It had these huge kind of floating jumps. It wasn't very hard. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't very hard. But the track put together with the gameplay, and I know I said don't pay attention to gameplay, but put together with the way the game plays was amazing. So Pine Top coming in at number 3 on this list. Coming in at number 2 are the AMA Pro Nationals DLC from MX vs. ATV All Out. These are the best outdoor tracks I've ever seen in any MX vs. ATV game. They are. They're so well done. They're so accurate. I mean, and this is all of them, okay? I'm counting the entire DLC. It is a DLC. If you pay, what was it, $15? You get 7 tracks. Or 8 tracks. You get 2 Ironman. You get Ironman 18 and 19. But amazing. It is worth every penny. I do highly recommend you play them in first person because there's ruts, there's terrain deformation, there are replicas of the Nationals, which we've been wanting for years and years and years. Amazing. I mean, so much fun to play. They're so well done. They're so accurate. And then some of the tracks actually have added bonus stuff. There's some supercross tracks in the background. If you free ride it, you get access to some other hidden gems on the track. There's some trails. There's actually a lot of stuff. And dude, in the pack, you get Unadilla. You get Unadilla. What else do you want? Okay, maybe I'm a bit biased because Unadilla is my like all-time favorite track in the world. But dude, you get Unadilla. Una-freaking-dilla. Anyways, amazing. Just fantastic. Ruts, realistic tracks, added bonus trails and tracks to the free ride. If you free ride each individual track, or at least on some of them, iconic, amazing, fantastic. MX vs. ATV All Out knocked it out of the park with this DLC. The only thing I would like to see added are the first half of the Lucas Oil Pro Nationals, not just the second half. So that's the only thing else I would love to see to make this perfect. So AMA Pro Nationals DLC from MX vs. ATV All Out coming in at number 2. And coming in at number 1 is Fort Dodge Round 2. I honestly believe we could just end the video right here. I really don't believe I need to say anything about this track. It's a legendary track. I mean, it's legendary. It really is. I mean, the layout speaks for itself. It's amazing. It's amazing. It actually is a very technical track. There's some really, really tough lines you can't hit. We didn't hit everything here, obviously, but there's some very big, insane lines you can hit. Even just taking the standard lines around the track. Most fun I've ever had on a track. I have more hours on this track than any other track ever made in any game, let alone any MX vs. ATV game. More hours on this track than any game. It has multiple line choices that are viable. You know, if you're racing with your buddy, I remember battling like crazy here. It's just amazing. Favorite track, hands down, of all time. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say about it. Just that good. It's that good. The design was amazing. Running up into the stadium like that, like running way up into the stadium, was fantastic. Well, to be honest with you, Fort Dodge Round 2 was really, really good too. Or Round 1, I mean, was really, really good too. So let me know in the comments what your guys' list is. If you just want to do like a top 3 or a top 5, I would be really, really curious to see how my list matches with yours. If you agree with me, I'd be really curious. But yeah, thanks for the support. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on it. It helps the video out, it helps me out. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really means a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.